As a person in the military, purchasing a car can be a real tricky navigation. Oftentimes, if you're not dealing with someone reputable, you can find yourself paying more than you anticipated. There's add-ons and things you're not aware of. So buying a car is serious. You want to make sure you get all the facts, you know what you're doing. You want to make sure that this is a actual good deal and that the car is not going to like break down 30 days after you buy it. So buying a new or used car is very important. What you want is not always what you need. Sometimes that new car is not what you need right now. Maybe you just need to, get a paint job, maybe a little body work and a little engine repair. Because one thing to pay a one time repair fee is another thing to meet that monthly requirement, that debt that comes every month. Ah, the beautiful smell of a new car. Oh, don't we just love it? It makes everything go well. It just makes the day shiny and bright. I've only had one new car in my life, and I refuse to buy another because I have refused to pay the exorbitant amount of money new cars cost today. So, we're going to go on this little journey and we're going to learn some things about making that purchase and how to protect yourself and get the best deal.
You know what kind of car you want, and you know what you can spend. But don't head to the dealer just yet. Before you shop for a car, shop for financing. Financing a car means you pay it off over time. But you don't have to get that financing through a dealer. Check with banks, credit unions, and finance companies first. Then take your best financing offer with you to the dealers. You can still negotiate and see if the dealer makes a better offer. But if not, you can stick with the financing you already have. If a dealer isn't honest when it comes to financing a car, let the FTC know. Want to know more? Visit ftc.gov/cars. You see the ads. Low price, low payments, no interest, zero down, guaranteed trade-in offers or rebates. Sounds good, but when you get to the dealer, there could be a catch. To get the low price you saw advertised, you might have to make a big down payment or pay extra fees. What about that 0% financing? It turns out you might need a sky-high credit score to qualify. And the extra low monthly payment? Maybe to start, but it could balloon into a much bigger payment later on. Learn as much as you can about a dealer's reputation ahead of time. And when it's time to sign a sales contract, make sure the deal and terms you agreed on are in the contract. You're in the driver's seat. If you can't get the advertised deal or one you feel good about, just walk away. If a dealer isn't honest when it comes to its car ads, let the FTC know. Want to know more? Visit ftc.gov/cars.
As you've seen from the videos, buying a car requires a lot of research. It's not something you just go into and just buy a car in a dealership. That's not smart shopping, as we said earlier in one of the videos. Smart shopping is making sure that you're getting the best deal for what you're trying to buy. And the main thing is to be sure you can afford it. Okay, decide what you can afford. That does not mean just dividing up the payment over 12 months and figuring out what's the lowest amount of money I can pay for this car and make it each month. That's just the beginning. You have to factor in not only the cost of the car per month, but you got to factor in insurance, the down payment, and the upkeep of the car. These are things that you need to know. If you have the car, now you got to pay for gas. Now your insurance is going to go up because you have a new car and a loan on the car. So your insurance is going to go up. So you also want to take advantage of other things before buying. Okay, step two. Determine the worth of your current car. Check out Kelly Blue Book and even Carfax and different places you can call to find out how much your car is worth before you get to the dealership. So you want to make sure you know what you're worthy of, so to speak, what your car is worth. So the offer he makes for your trade-in is something that's actually worth the value of your car. Decide how you will pay. Most of us don't have cash where we can walk in. So that means you got to do your due diligence, like I said in the video. You want to do that price shopping, the financing prior to going to the dealership. You want to know exactly what's involved. You want to have all of this stuff together before you show up at the dealership. Do research before financing. So that's the same thing I said in the other little point. When you decide how you're going to pay, you want to check out a lot of options on financing. You want to check the credit union, different banks. You want to make sure before you get to the dealer, you have financing already. If the dealer can give you a better deal, then you take that. But you want to make sure that what you buying is covered in that contract. Like the video said, no bunch of little add-ons and all this little stuff. So you want to make sure that you do this. So you want to pick a good time. Don't go on the weekend. Go during the midweek. Dealers may be more inclined to work with you because maybe the foot traffic is low or whatever, and they trying to sell a car today. So go during the week. Midweek, Wednesday probably is the best time. Choose the car and then do comparison shopping. Look around. You have all this information now. Now go to different dealers to make sure that you're getting the best price for what you want. You're not being unfair or unkind or whatever. You're just trying to get the best deal for what you're spending your money for. Take time. Don't just rush into the first deal that comes your way.
You've negotiated a good price for a car, and you have your financing lined up. But it's not time to drive off into the sunset just yet. First, the dealer may try to sell you add-ons. Add-ons are optional products or services, like rust proofing, fabric protection, gap insurance, or a service contract that cost you extra. One important thing to know about add-ons, it's okay to say no, or not right now. It's your money. The more add-ons you get, the more you're going to pay, which might break your budget. Your best move? Read up on add-ons before you even go to a dealer. You might find out that you don't need any add-ons, or you can get them later for a better price. And if there is an add-on you want to buy, don't be afraid to negotiate the price. When you're ready to sign the contract, make sure it only lists the add-ons you've agreed to, at the prices you were quoted. If a dealer isn't honest when it comes to add-on charges, let the FTC know. Want to know more? Visit ftc.gov/cars.
You decide to buy the car. You're all excited. Before you sign, you want to make sure that you have done some things. Make sure you have checked out the car, driven it around, checked it out. You want to, even though it's new, you want to make sure this is the car you really want. So some little tips: you can go to the dealer at the end of the month. A lot of times they really trying to sell cars, but the main thing to focus on, as you saw in those two videos, the previous video before the paying the car payment video, you want to make sure that the price you're going out the door with is what you agreed to. Make sure it's all in writing. This goes back to those contracts about the phones and things. And so that if they're putting something unethical, you will be able to go to your legal resources on base and get that dealt with. But if the contract is binding and you sign some crazy contract because you didn't read the fine print, there's nothing they're going to be able to do to help you. Watch for those add-ons. Read that thing. Make sure everything you have agreed to is exactly what you're paying for. And you want an out the door price. This is something a lot of people don't ask for. This is the first thing I ask people for. What is the price out the door? And they go, well, no. I said, no, 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 no. The insurance, if there's insurance required, interest, tax, license, all of this. What is this thing going to cost me out the door? That's what you would end up paying every month for that vehicle or whatever it is you're buying. So the out the door price is very important. And something else I ask that most people don't ask for is I ask for the total cost of the loan. If the car costs $25,000, and the guy looked at me one time and he thought I was crazy. I said, "Nah, what is the payout on the life of the loan?" Because sometimes hearing that will make you think, well, maybe I really don't need this. If the payout on the loan, depending on your interest rate, is if you got a high interest rate, the payout on a $25,000 car can actually be right around 40,000 depending on the interest rate. So you might want to ask them, what is the payout on the life of the loan? Because it's hard to pay 40 grand for a $25,000 car. So you might want to look at another options, but those are just some things to look into. But make sure don't sign if it's getting to the point that you see that something's not quite right. Because until you sign on the dotted line, you can walk away. Don't be intimidated. Don't let the desire for the new car get you in a position you will regret. Now we want to buy a used car as opposed to a new car. But the same principles hold true to do your research.
You need a car. Where do you start? Here? Actually, the best place to start researching used cars is online, so you know exactly what you want and what you can afford. The more you know going in, the better you'll feel driving out. At the dealers, there are a few other things to know. Dealers have to put a buyer's guide on every used car. The buyer's guide will tell you if a car has a warranty or is being sold as is. But that's not all you need to know. Ask the dealer to run a car's vehicle history report or get a copy yourself, so you know where the car has been. Ask to get the car inspected by an independent mechanic and check to see if there are any recalls on the car. It'll all help avoid trouble down the road. You have a right to know the facts about the car you buy. If a dealer isn't honest, let the FTC know. Want to know more? Visit ftc.gov/cars.
Okay, so we found our little used car. We all excited. So let's consider. You need to do a test drive. You want to do this more so with this car than with your new car because it is a used car. So you want to take it on the freeway, you want to take it in the city because, as we all know, cars respond differently at high rates of speed. Then you want to spend a little time discussing the warranty with the gentleman or the lady selling you the car at the dealership. Do not buy cars on Craigslist or other places. You are in the military. Unless you buying it from somebody that you know that you can trust, that's selling you a used car, this is something I would not do because the liability can be too great. You can end up with something that really doesn't work. Check the car history, do a Carfax, check Kelly Blue Book, check any resources you can that can tell you about this particular car. Manufacturer's website, see if there are recalls or other things on that car. Don't rush off. You're not done. Take it and have it inspected. Take it to a reputable place to have it inspected. Even if you have to pay a little fee, it's worth it in the long run because they will be able to tell you what condition the engine is in, the transmission, and you will have a better understanding of what you're buying. Maintenance records. While it's being inspected, you might want to check to see if they can print out you a little history on the car. Some computers on the cars now maintain history records on did it pass the time for the tune up or the oil change. Check that out. Now you've done all that. So you're standing there petting your feet and you're considering what's going on. You're looking at your notes and you say, oh, it's the wrong color. Or maybe it's got a salvage title. Or maybe the interior looks a little old, but it's got a clean engine and low mileage. These are the things you consider before you sign on the dotted line. Make sure you're honest with yourself about the car. Do you buy and enjoy, or do you just walk away? There's nothing wrong with just walking away after you've done your due diligence and your consideration. That's what it's all about. Stop. Stop. Do not rush off and buy something. Take your time because the contract is going to be binding. The buyer's guide on a used car is crucial. That's a little sticker that's on the window that gives all the information about the warranty. As we saw from the video, the used car dealership or even a new car dealership that sells used cars has to provide this. And it can save you money and headaches. So you have the buyer's guide tells you if the car is sold as is sold with an implied warranty, has a warranty, and if it's full or partial, that's very important. It's under the manufacturer warranty. Some used cars still have their manufacturer warranty. Has a service contract available. That's something, if you can buy one on a used car, that will give you some kind of protection if it's not too high. The main, service contract that I would be interested in would be for my engine and my transmission. Those are the two components depending on the used car's age. And a lot of times, a used car that doesn't seem to be very old or have low mileage could not have been driven very well. Compare and negotiate. Work with the dealer you're buying the car from. Get the information, leave, go look at some other cars, and compare the price and what you're being given for your trade in as well. Now, this one is spinning around. Ask for and keep all documents. When you have a problem and you try to go to get assistance from your legal department on base, they're going to ask you for these things. So you want to make sure you have them. Here's a couple more quotes about money. The waste of money cures itself, for soon there is no more to waste. I don't care how much money you have. If you don't budget and plan, you will soon find yourself without the thing you need, which is money. That's what this course is all about. Teaching you to make good financial decisions which are based on self control, not just buying because you think you can. You should always live within your income, even if you have to borrow to do it. That's the view of many people. When they get stretched for money, they at the payday lending place, or they at the credit union, or they trying to extend their credit cards. That's what we get ourselves into. Sometimes there are emergencies that we find ourselves in that. But if you're not planning and budgeting, if you're going to get a payday loan every week, then you need help. You need to stop, go to the base, talk to the financial planning people, work out a way to get out of that. But don't just get out and continue the bad behavior. You have to be willing to change and control your spending habits. As we've seen from all the wonderful videos and everything we've looked at about buying a car, new, used, we talked about financing. This is closing it up, and we're gonna go over some points we talked about to re-emphasize some things. So let's take a look. One, decide what you can actually afford, not what you want, but what you can actually afford to pay for. Check with your bank or credit union first before you do the loan. We covered that under financing. Make sure that you can get the loan in the right place where you can get the best rate. That comes from keeping your credit good. Your credit score is everything. Do not get credit cards you can't pay for. Pay your bills on time. That will impact what you pay for your car. See if the dealer can beat their rate, not the other way around. Go to your bank first, your credit union first. See what they will give you. Then go to the dealer and see if you can get a special rate with them or some kind of credit insurance on the loan or something that will reduce the rate. Compare loans based on the APR. Choose a loan. After you've done all of that, then you choose the loan you want. Closely review the paperwork. The little spinning one we had before, make sure you read it off. You have to pull out a magnifying glass. Do not let these folks rush you and just give you the paperwork and have you sign it. That happened to me once. Someone presented a legal document to me and said, "Oh, you just signed right here." And it had all this verbiage and stuff on it. I said, "Oh, no. I never sign anything I do not read." The lady actually got offended. I said, "I'm sorry. I'm going to read this before I sign it. Thank you so much for watching Military Consumers Toolkit Part 1, Spending and Budgeting. Look forward to seeing you at Part 2. Have a great day.